game of football has been played for over 100 years, but at the end of the millennium, one question remains. Who is the greatest team of all time? That question is about to be answered as four of pro football's greatest dynasties go head-to-head for the title Greatest Team Ever. The Packers of the 60s, winners of 5 NFL championships and the first 2 Super Bowls. The Steelers of the 70s, the first 4-time Super Bowl champions. The 49ers of the 80s, dominators of their decade with 4 Super Bowl titles. The Cowboys of the 90s, winners of 3 Super Bowls in a 4-year span. 3 games, 1 goal to be the best ever. This is the matchup of the millennium. This week, it's the second half of the championship game.
Game day program, Steelers versus the 49ers here. Game day program here. Matchup for the millennium here. Game day program.
Hello again, everyone. This is Howard Cosell. Speaking of sports, I'm reporting to you tonight from Three Rivers Stadium, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Howard. Why is this scene so extraordinary?
Howard.
Because there's so much national pride being evidenced here.
Howard.
Tonight could be one of the truly interesting evenings in the whole history of television.
Howard, I know you used to do the intro for Monday Night Football, but for this broadcast, ESPN would like me to do it.
I don't understand this evidently growing vocal truculence.
I'm not trying to be truculent, Howard. It's just you weren't supposed to be on until the next segment.
All right. Good night, girls.
Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the interruption, but welcome back to the second half of the championship game of the matchup of the millennium. Up for grabs today, the title, The Greatest Team Ever. I'm Mike Patrick along with Joe Theismann. And Joe, after last week's first half, the Steelers of the 70s trailing the 49ers of the 80s 20-7.
You know, Mike, last week the Steelers got off to such a horrendous start, and it really all started with the opening kickoff. That Steelers return man, Ron Johnson, you got to wonder, what is he thinking? He lets the kickoff bounce free like a punt. And then the Niners pick it up, take it in for an easy 6. Terry Bradshaw, he had a tough day. Takes the snap, winds up fumbling the football, then gets injured a little bit later in the game. He'd return, but backup quarterback Terry Hanratty really did a terrific job. Hooks up with current Buccaneer coach Tony Dungy for the Steelers' only score in the first half. But in the second quarter, Joe Montana just kept things rolling, capped off an 80-yard drive with this touchdown run. Great moves inside. The 49ers added 2 field goals and went into halftime leading 20-7.
Well, the big question now for the Steelers is, can they do it? Can the Steelers come from behind in this battle of the decade?
I'll tell you, Mike, if any team can, it's got to be the Steelers. Back in the 70s, they only lost 1 playoff game at home, and that was to the 72 Dolphins, who, by the way, went undefeated. They won the other 8 playoff games they played here, and I think a lot of that has to do with this unbelievable crowd. These fans are so rabid, you can't hear yourself.
They're actually chanting Millennium. There is really Millennium madness that has taken over this city, and the fans have even broken out the old Steeler jerseys out of the mothballs.
Those jerseys have never gone out of style. Those 70s players, heck, they're as popular now as they ever were.
Remember's back, baby. He's gonna cross Joe Montana.
And all the old traditions are back. There's Frank Capri with the dancing monkey.
Boy, the Steelers even brought back unemployed steel workers from the 70s to make the team feel more at home.
You don't get to see much of that in Sausalito. We'll be right back.
We've been waiting a whole millennium for this matchup. Bring it on, 49ers.
If he doesn't get a diamond, he doesn't get me.
Not without a diamond.
If you want to get close, get the new Schick FX Diamond Razor. Alpha Diamond blades start sharper and stay sharper for diamond closeness, shave after shave.
I wanted to get closer, so I bought him a diamond.
The Schick FX Diamond. The feel of smart design.
Surf the internet today with Circuit City. Sign up now for CompuServe 2000 Premier Internet Service, and we'll hand you a Circuit City merchandise card worth $400. Just sign up for 3 years of CompuServe 2000 Premier Internet Service, only $21.95 per month, and get a $400 Circuit City merchandise card instantly. Use it toward a new camcorder, computer, big screen TV, or anything in our store. All when you sign up today at Circuit City.
New experiences just have to be shared. And there's no better way than dialing 10-10-321.
I took to it like a duck to water.
With 10-10-321, it's just 8 cents a minute on calls over 10 minutes, day or night, with no monthly fee.
It was so much fun, I couldn't stop.
And at 8 cents a minute, you can keep on talking.
In no time, I was whipping around that record.
Talk as long as you want with 10-10-321.
Try something different today. Eat with your fingers. Peel and eat all the shrimp you can right now at Red Lobster. Any day of the week, just $11.99. Better hurry. Escape to Red Lobster.
Right now, a complete pair of glasses is only $99 at LensCrafters.
With this offer, they're making it easier for more people to see. Easier for them to look good, too.
The LensCrafters $99 complete pair sale. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Welcome back, everybody, and there's a look at the Pittsburgh Steelers of the 70s getting ready to take the field, and there are the 49ers of the 80s. The Butterflies must feel like 747s. Well, let's face it, today could be the most important day in the history of professional football. I'm just thrilled to be a part of it.
Me too. How about you, Howard?
I find it a rather tedious bore, Joe. An entire year. Multi-thousands of dollars, as you know, expended on scouting, computerized systems. It's utterly absurd and a manifestation of inefficiency.
Whoa, Howard, are you saying the Millennium Bowl is overhyped?
You'd think it had been invented by Enrico Fermi and refined by Werner von Braun.
Howard, you're one tough critic.
I'm also a hypochondriac, by the way.
Well, the Steelers aren't faking anything. They have to be dog-tired after their week-long bus trip from San Francisco. The first half was in San Francisco last week. Today we're here in Pittsburgh for the second half. The commissioner felt neutrality was important, but while we have neutrality, we also have controversy.
Controversy on network television? I don't believe it.
Hard to believe, I know, Joe, but true. The major story in the press this week has centered around the very different ways the two teams got back here. Our Ron Jaworski has been following it all week.
After last week's first half in San Francisco, the Steelers boarded a Greyhound bus and headed back to Pittsburgh. They wanted to avoid the glare of the spotlight. Not so for the 49ers. They got on their luxury charter flight with champagne and caviar and headed to Pittsburgh, and that certainly created a media uproar.
All week long, the 49ers of the 80s have been pilloried in the press for the lavish feast they enjoyed on their flight to Pittsburgh.
Well, once we get up in the air, we're going to have a little filet mignon, a little shrimp cocktail.
But when asked about their feeding frenzy, the 49ers remained unapologetic.
There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I think Napoleon used to think feeding his troops was pretty important, and he won a few battles, and so we might as well try ourselves.
But several events have taken place that have led some observers to wonder if the Niners' 13-point lead has caused them to lose focus. On Wednesday, Jerry Rice was spotted chipping golf balls during practice. As for Joe Montana, he's been spotted out at night crooning in local clubs with pal Huey Lewis.
It's all right, have a good time, 'cause it's all right.
Still, the 49ers insist these distractions are no big deal.
Tell you why I don't worry about it. Because I watched Joe Montana in practice this week, and he was flawless. And Jerry Rice works harder than anybody in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform ever wore. From Ernie Stautner on down, it don't make a bit of difference. And we'll beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not worried about that.
As for the Steelers, at 7:10 this morning, their team bus finally reached the Pittsburgh city limits. 4 days overdue and just 5 hours before kickoff. At the Fort Pitt Bridge, the Steelers were met by a police escort that took them directly to Three Rivers Stadium.
You should see Gateway Center with the yellow balloons and the sign, defense, defense, we're number one. It was just about the most exciting thing I've seen since the parting of the Red Sea.
Raucous crowds clad in 70s clothes lined the streets to welcome the team of the 70s back home. We managed to talk to some of the Steelers before they entered the locker room. and they told us of all the troubles they encountered during their cross-country trek.
Going through Cleveland, we had a tire shot out from under our bus. The urinal kept getting stopped up, and we were pretty pissed.
The Steelers were further incensed upon learning of the good time the 49ers had been having in their town.
You never want to go into a visiting team's stadium gloating and shooting your mouth off, and like Ronnie Lott had been doing, and Joe Montana had been dancing and chasing our women in Pittsburgh. He'd been chasing our women.
But it was this week's cover of Sports Illustrated that finally caused Coach Chuck Noll's temper to boil over at his pregame press conference.
Coach, I assume you've seen the article in Sports Illustrated. What do you think? Are you guys finished?
I won't even answer that question. All right?
Trailing by 13 and lacking in sleep, the Steelers remain optimistic about their chances in the second half.
Home field advantage is a big plus, especially when you're playing here in Pittsburgh with the black and gold, with the terrible towel, with everybody yelling and screaming. I don't care whether we're down by 21 points at halftime. We'll be able to pull it together and come on top.
In the end, when it gets down to it, down to the wire, we will prevail.
You want to win a big game, you get on a bus. You go across the country.
And there's the resident genius, San Francisco's Bill Walsh.
And that's quarterback Terry Bradshaw. He's grown enormously in his confidence of speech and presence.
As has the man who was just entered the booth. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Sable from NFL Films.
How you doing, Steve?
Pretty good, Howard. How about you? Looking for a scrap here and a scrap there, just trying to eke out a fair subsistence in a perilous trade.
Well, Steve, what do you think? Can the Steelers still pull this one out?
Well, Mike, I'm holding in my hand the Steelers' schedule from 1976, a team that many consider to be the best Steeler team ever. And just listen to the number of points that defense allowed over the last 9 games of that season. They went 6 points, shutout, 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 3 points, 16 points, 3 points, shutout, shutout. That's 28 points in 9 games. That's the most phenomenal run of NFL defense that any team's ever had. I think the Steelers can still win this game.
Let me respectfully disagree with you. I think the 49ers already have too big a lead. How about you, Howard?
The Steelers win it.
Joe?
Mike, I got to agree with you. I think the 49ers are going to blow this thing wide open.
And you're listening to the melodious sounds of the Tramps. Part of the celebration of the 70s taking place today. Hard to believe the decade that gave us polyester and platform shoes also gave us the great Pittsburgh Steelers.
What the hell is this?
Howard, that's disco. I mean, they say you used to be a pretty good dancer, Howard. Can you still cut a rug?
Yes.
Hey, Howard, what are you doing? I didn't mean show us now.
The body's still lean, taut, tight, angular, supple,
Howard,
large.
it's not big enough in here.
Howard, what are you doing?
Hey, watch your elbows.
Oh, man.
I wish that I could shimmy.
Howard.
Like my sister Kate.
Please go to commercial.
This is what exhilaration looks like. With Helly Hansen, you can experience exhilaration without worrying about the elements.
It's impossible.
Nothing's impossible.
Hey, I'm in the trenches, managing payroll, writing checks, and now I got to handle all the finances?
You'll manage.
Don't count on it.
OneCore.com is like having your own electronic financial officer, or EFO, to manage your finances faster and simpler. And now, the EFO can offer you credit lines at an introductory rate as low as 5.9%. OneCore.com. Your business, your money, your move.
Well, considering the popularity of the swimsuit issues, the Sports Center swimsuit calendar seemed like an idea whose time had come. Sex sells.
Show me the sex. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
I don't want lotion. Get away.
Very sexy. Oh, yeah. Megan, give me the snakes, would you?
Snakes?
No, you're going to look sexy. It's going to look great. You've got to be kidding me.
We know what people like.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
Welcome back, everyone. The crowd's still filing into the stadium, decked out in their 70s best. And we are just moments away from the most important half of football in the history of the NFL.
1, 2, 3.
The 49ers kicked off to start the game last week in San Francisco, so they'll receive to start the second half. And we are ready to go. That's Roy Girella. And the second half of the Millennium Bowl is underway. Don Griffith takes it 3 yards deep, takes a knee. They'll start from the 20. Now look at the 49ers lineup. They'll begin with the exact starting 11 from their 1989 Super Bowl team. And there are the Steelers. In bold, the 4 Hall of Famers from the defense. Mean Joe Green, Jack Lambert, Jack Ham, and Mel Blount.
And all they have to do today is shut down the greatest postseason quarterback in the history of the game. And oh, by the way, the greatest receiver of all time as well.
San Francisco 1st and 10 from its own 20-yard line. Lambert and that Steeler defense chomping at the bit. Montana drops to throw. Screen to Craig. Roger Craig in front of his blockers picks up about 7. That'll make it 2nd and 3.
Bill Walsh, as usual, scripts the first 15 plays. And everybody thought he was nuts when he did it. Now it seems like everybody's doing it.
2nd and 3. Andy Russell sliding down the line. Dwight Clark in the lineup for John Taylor. Montana back to throw. Looks for Dwight Clark. And that's broken up by Ron Johnson. Commissioner Paul Tagliabue.
He's a decent, fine man. Comports himself at all times in the finest, cleanest, most professional manner.
Montana brings the offense to the line. Donnie Shell looking in on him. 3rd and 3. Montana to throw. Number 63, Ernie Fats Holmes through to get it.
Well, and I'm sure Bill Walsh can't believe it. The 49ers go 3 and out. But what a great start for that Steeler D. You know, Mike, maybe they had a little bit too much late-night carousing with Huey Lewis this week, especially Joe. He looks a little sluggish.
Let's go down to the Chiodo Tavern in downtown Pittsburgh to see what the common man thinks of the matchup of the Millennium.
Oh, it's the greatest thing ever. It's done so much for Pittsburgh, for the sports fans, nationwide notoriety. Great. See, we're greater than just mill workers.
You know, you just have to love these hard-working, blue-collar fans here in Pittsburgh. They're so genuine, so authentic.
Slow down.
What, don't you agree, Howard?
Put it on the table. They're a seedy lot, hangers-on, dugout mentalities, no horizons, no awareness of packing the Supreme Court, no awareness of the great crises of the great cities, no awareness...
All right, Howard, we get the point. You're not fond of Pittsburgh.
I've been here 2 days, going on 6 months.
All the folks in Pittsburgh, when you write your letters, please send them to Howard Cosell. His remarks, not ours. Lynn Swann back for the punt. And he'll take it out near the 35-yard line, hit by Tom Rathman down on special teams.
They're using all their stars on the special teams today.
And there's the Steeler offensive lineup. Franco Harris and Mike Webster, both Hall of Famers, as is that man, 2-time Super Bowl MVP Terry Bradshaw.
Did you know his rookie year, his passer rating was a microscopic 30.1?
No.
But he told us that wasn't nearly as brutal as the first time he met you, Howard. Hey, guys, roll the clip.
I went to do a Monday night interview on the field live, and he said, I'm standing here with the #1 flop in the National Football League, rookie quarterback Terry Bradshaw. Woo. Yo!
Hey, Howard, how could you do that to our good friend Terry?
That little punk from the South.
Hey, but he's a successful broadcaster now, Howard.
It's the jocks who played the game, right? They should be on the air, right?
What are you implying, Howard?
Our industry debased itself by taking men and making announcers of them merely because they played the game.
How many touchdown passes have you thrown?
They're not in touch with contemporary America.
Oh.
Some former jock saying, we'll have another look at that. And you've got 2 million tune-outs in prime time.
All right, that's it. We have a game to do. Harris and Blyer are set behind Terry Bradshaw. 1st and 10 on their own 36.
The handoff to number 32.
That's Franco Harris across the 50, brought down at the San Francisco 43.
What a great block by Mike Webster.
Webster was enraged.
On defense, the 49ers will play a 3-4. Haley, Carter, and Board up front.
They can't stop the run.
Turner, Buns, Reynolds, and Romanowski in linebacker.
They got no linebackers.
And Ronnie Lott in the secondary, along with Wright, Williamson, and Hicks.
That's not too bad.
This defense relies more on tactics than terror. They remind me a little of that Dolphins' famous no-name defense. Other than Lott and Haley, they don't really have that many stars on defense.
Blyer and Harris are the backs, watched by Keena Turner. 1st and 10 at the San Francisco 43. Bradshaw faked the handoff and then thrown down by Haley, a loss of 2.
Charles Haley is fired up. He told us earlier this week exactly what he was going to do to Terry Bradshaw. Here it is.
It'll be easy getting to Bradshaw. We need to just, take his helmet and stick it up his butt. Make him realize that, hey, we're not going to let him bully us around.
2nd and 12 for Bradshaw. Drops straight back to throw. The blitz is on. Somehow he got out of there and dumps it. It's Grossman with a catch. Even so, they'll lose 1.
They really tried to confuse Bradshaw with the blitzes.
They're working on his head.
And just like last week, the Steeler offense showing no signs of life. Here we go, 3rd and 13. Bradshaw to throw again. Looks down the middle and fires.
But no, not this time.
Badly underthrown and picked off at the 8 by Dwight Hicks.
Well, you just got to wonder if Chuck Noll might not consider putting Terry Bradshaw on the bench and Terry Hanratty back in. What do you think, Howard?
I think we've seen enough futility. Terry Bradshaw is a nice kid, but he's a real dope.
The 49ers still in control, 20-7, and we'll be right back.
We need a car?
A minivan.
No.
An SUV.
With leather.
Blue.
Green.
Bluish green.
Introducing Autotrader.com with 1.5 million used cars updated daily. It's the biggest, best used car site on the planet.
Now we need insurance.
And a loan.
Autotrader.com. Your car is waiting.
Oh, it's awful cold.
Poor baby. He'll be up all night.
Coughing.
Sneezing. No way he'll be up with the chicken.
No cold hands in the morning.
Sorry, girls, but he's getting NyQuil.
You need relief.
So I can rest. And when he wakes up, he'll be ready to go.
Good morning, ladies.
NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever so you can rest and have a good morning, Mason.
Ooh.
On the foul line of life you stand alone, but that's not the way it has to be. Everyone needs a family. Taking a three-point shot for love, taking a bus on the big game day, taking a charge for the team you play for, taking a chance, going all the way. There's nothing you can't do, cause there's no I in team, but there's definitely a you.
Hoops Malone, brought to you by College Hoops, is coming soon to ESPN.
Welcome back to Three Rivers. The score still 20-7, 49ers. And you're looking at some of the 6,000-plus members of the media here for today's game.
There's some of your old sports writer buddies, Howard. They haven't been very kind to you after the first 3 telecasts.
It was almost conspiratorial, it seemed to me, the way certain classes of sports writers came out of the woodwork to go after me.
Didn't one of the guys accuse you of being a big shot who thinks he's bigger than the matchup of the Millennium itself, Howard?
Now, that's the kind of sports print journalism that I find utterly and totally obnoxious.
Howard, just take it easy.
I'm not being a big shot. They've lost. They can't lay a glove on me. They are a disgrace to the journalism they pretend to be a part of.
Whoa! I guess we can kiss the Emmy goodbye.
Thanks, Howard.
After the interception, the 49ers have the ball 1st and 10. Montana to Rice, and he takes a big shot.
Nice hit.
Oh, what a hit that
They're
was.
saying the catch is good. The ball spotted at the 21.
And, Mike, believe it or not, that is Jerry Rice's first catch in the championship game. You recall last week in that first half, he was shut out by Mel Blount and didn't catch one.
Being the perfectionist that he is, he was really upset about it, too. Here's a clip from the post-game press conference.
So the main thing for me is try to go in there and really just get back into the end zone and win the ball game.
Jerry, does it bother you that you haven't caught a pass yet in the Millennium Bowl?
Everybody asking me the same question. You know, how many times I got to answer that one?
Answer it one more time.
No, I'm gone.
As you saw, Rice was rather, as you might say, Howard, truculent.
And here's what Bill Walsh had to say about getting him open today.
The Pittsburgh Steelers defense automatically goes to linebacker coverage on double wing formations. And we're going to have to get Jerry Rice on the inside against Jack Ham to get him open.
I don't know, if you go looking for Jack Ham, you might just find him, and I'm not sure that's a good thing.
We're midway through the third quarter. 1st and 10, 49ers. Montana back to throw again. This time swings it to Craig. Across the 25, out near the 30, Jack Lambert chased him out. Rice and Montana, the NFL's all-time postseason combination with 12 touchdowns. How much longer will they be silent? 1st and 10. Montana drops back. This is for John Taylor. And Taylor makes the grab and good yards afterward. Lambert got him at the 35.
Bring it in.
Wait a minute. Who the heck are these guys? Who let this camera crew in here?
They are doing a documentary entitled The Other Side of Howard Cosell.
The other side? Howard, you have another side?
Whenever somebody asks me what Howard Cosell is really like, I just tell them the truth. I'm a pussycat.
Montana over the middle. It's Freddie Solomon brought down by Mel Blount at the 31.
And that's Solomon's first catch of the Millennium Bowl. Montana's still looking sharp, and the front four looks like they're having real trouble getting to him.
So it's 1st and 10 for the 49ers offense, rolling again. Montana drops back. Wants the quick slant. Jerry Rice. He's got room to run down to the 21-yard line.
The Steelers cannot afford to give up another score here. I mean, there really isn't much they can do either. Montana's running this offense to perfection.
How does he do it?
I don't know, Howard, but he always seems to have that certain magic in big games.
Lambert trying to set the defense. It's now 1st and 10 from the 21. Montana straight back again. A lot of time now. He starts to scramble. And now he throws, caught at the 4 by number 28. Number 28.
28 is Mike Weger, cornerback, Detroit Lions.
Actually, that's Joe Cribbs, Howard. I think you're flashing back to the old days on Monday night.
Monday Night Football, 3 hours in prime time.
Howard, we dug up an old clip of you from Monday Night's glory days. Roll it, guys.
I remember it when we began it. We took a brash lawyer from the sinister northeastern cabal and put him together with a Texas corn pone.
There's a timeout on the field.
We didn't treat with the games in the puristic past of the medieval sports writers.
And we'll be right back.
Fitting consorts, each of them, for the age of William of Orange.
Every year, the eyes of millions are on the Super Bowl. But after the game, when the spotlights fade, the NFL leaves behind a gift. To brighten lives and to create hope in inner cities, we give an NFL Yet Center. A gift that ensures the future of the children in those cities shines even brighter than the lights on the big game. Yet, there is hope.
Presenting the new Italian Originals Pizza Trio from Domino's.
Tender prosciutto,
Italian sausage,
tender prosciutto,
spicy pepperoni, the new pizza trio, $10.99, $10.99.
New Domino's Italian Originals Pizza Trio. Prosciutto, ham, Italian sausage, and spicy pepperoni. So much amore delivered hot for only $10.99.
The new pizza trio.
Winter X Games begin tonight at 9 on ESPN.
Welcome back to Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. Tension now reigns supreme. That vaunted steel curtain defense has its back to the wall once again. The 49ers with the ball on the Steeler 4-yard line. First and goal. Pittsburgh can't afford to give up another score. Montana straight back. Now flushed out of the pocket.
Now the touchdown pass.
Room to run, but he throws. And Jerry Rice in the corner of the end zone.
Touchdown.
The world's greatest receiver with a touchdown.
Incredible.
And boy, has he redeemed himself after not catching a pass in the first half last week.
Absolutely incredible. The Steelers are really in trouble here. I mean, the defense has played their hearts out. But heck, when you're down 26-7, what do you say? Even the great teams need a little bit of luck. Watch on the replay. You're going to see Fats Holmes giving chase. But he still can't get to Montana. Just watch his throw.
Softest touch in the world.
That's the third touchdown the Steel Curtain has given up. Almost unthinkable. Even the 49ers' Tom Rathman was shocked. Here's what he had to say moments ago.
Not one, not two, but three. Can you believe it? I can't.
If the Steelers don't have enough to worry about, look at this. The 49ers are bringing in Steve Young for the two-point conversion.
And there aren't too many teams that can bring in a future Hall of Famer off the bench.
I got to go to work.
Fortunately for you viewers, we have Steve Young wired today. You'll be able to hear his every word.
Fox 2 double square out on set, ready? Holy cow, somebody's got some flesh on the bottom of their cleats.
Young coming in is not a shock. Before the game, Bill Walsh told us we might see him.
We'll start Joe Montana in this game, but that doesn't mean Steve Young won't come in. Steve is the best running quarterback of all time. And so he's a great change of pace for Joe Montana.
45! 85!
Young comes out for the two-point conversion try. Pumps it over the middle and caught. Sensation. Jerry Rice, not only the touchdown, the two-pointer as well. The 49ers making no mistakes.
It's absolutely unbelievable, isn't it?
I think the 49ers have just put this game away. I mean, watch this. You'll see it. It's the quick slant. And how many times have you seen that? Everyone knows it's coming, and they still run it to perfection. It's really a testament to the execution more than anything the Steelers are doing on defense.
Let's go down to the sideline to Ron Jaworski for an update.
Thanks, guys. If the Steeler fans seem a bit rammy today, I think it's because of this stuff, Millennium Ale, which was produced specially for this game. Now, if you look back to the crowds of the 70s when those steel workers were in the stands, they could handle a case of this stuff. But I tell you, the trouble today started with the yuppies up in the stands that really can't handle it like those old steel workers could. I'll tell you, this is good stuff, Howard. You ought to give it a try.
Well, if you guys want to try some, we've got a bottle here.
Yeah, I'll try a little.
Pour a little of that beer. I've not tried that beer. Pour a little in the captain's glass and pass it on, huh?
Okay, Captain.
That's enough. That's enough.
And the kickoff headed for Ron Johnson from the 8 with a running start. Across the 20 to the 23.
Ooh, that's strong stuff.
Very good beer.
And Terry Bradshaw will take the field again for the Steelers.
I think Chuck Noll is making the right decision here by sticking with Terry. If you look at the Steelers' 4 Super Bowl wins, it's not like he's never made a mistake, but the thing he's always come up with is big plays in the clutch. Don't you agree, Howard?
If you've got the time, I've got the beer.
Bradshaw remains in the game, but fares no better than he had before. Charles Haley continues to lead a swarming 49er pass rush. Often dismissed as a finesse defense, the Niners show the muscle and grit that helped win 4 Super Bowls during the 80s. The Steelers are left battered and bloody. Meanwhile, Steve Young has the 49ers on the move.
Hustle, 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 hustle!
Steve Young continuing to press the offensive pace. Now it's 3rd and 4. Back to throw, quarterback draw. And Steve Young will have the first down and more. And that will bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. The score, San Francisco 28, Pittsburgh 7. How's that beer coming, guys?
I wish that I could go back to the States with Rita.
On that note, we send it back to Chris Berman in Bristol.
Well, who would have thought it? 28-7, the 49ers after 3 quarters of play. Pittsburgh's offensive woes, could they be due to
That long bus ride they had back from the West Coast, who knows? San Francisco certainly arrived sooner, leaving on a jet plane. Well, if you missed the third quarter, here's the action. Steelers got things rolling with a 21-yard run by Franco Harris, but 2 plays later, Terry Bradshaw picked off by number 22, Dwight Hicks, and his hot licks. For the Niners on offense, Jerry Rice, remember, was shut down last week by Mel Blount. Not this time. Joe Montana, 2 big passes on this drive to Rice, then touchdown from Montana off the scramble. The Niners bring in number 8, Steve Young, off the bench for a 2-point conversion. Slant to Rice, it's good. Word from the sideline is Young's going to play a while to start the fourth quarter. 28-7, San Francisco after 3 quarters. I know it's at Three Rivers, but Pittsburgh certainly has their work cut out for them. Mike, Joe, and Humble Howard back after this.
Now through Valentine's Day, Zales has exquisite platinum hearts, like this half-carat heart for just $4.99. It's a Valentine that will last forever. At Zales stores nationwide or shop online at Zales.com.
Right now, a complete pair of glasses is only $99 at LensCrafters.
With this offer, they're making it easier for more people to see. Easier for them to look good, too.
The LensCrafters $99 complete pair sale. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Every day brings something more that you just can't wait to explore. Were my eyes that wide when I was your size? Moms like you choose Jim.
You bring out a sense of wonder and discovery in your family. And with Creamy Jif, you'll find the peanuttiest taste of any leading creamy brand.
Moms like you choose Jim.
Hoover Wind Tunnel Vacuum. Diamond Rio MP3 player.
We can get to
And music to make your time more harmonious.
Love Shack, baby.
Best Buy. Turn on the fun.
Hi, I'm Doug Flutie, pro football player and father of an autistic child. I started the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation to help less fortunate families of autistic children get the support they need. Here's a way you can help. Just dial 1010-220. All calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents, and 1010-220 will make a donation to the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation every time you use it. So dial 1010-220, get up to 20 minutes for only 99 cents, and help some great kids at the same time. It's a win-win situation.
Welcome back, everybody. Ready to start the fourth quarter. Only 15 minutes stand between the San Francisco 49ers and the title, the greatest team ever. Steve Young still in the game. We talked to him earlier about facing the steel curtain.
The steel curtain, you're going to have to be able to extend plays. Me and Joe Green, you don't want those guys, Elsie Greenwood, you don't, no way. You want to give them a chance to start making big hits on the quarterback. So we're going to continue to move the ball, get it out quick. Same kind of thing. There might be something in the second half that with fatigue, we can take advantage of.
White 90! White 90!
But as they did so often in the 70s, the Steeler defense mounts a furious fourth-quarter charge, burying Steve Young under a barrage of black jerseys and knocking him out of the game. But the last hit draws a costly penalty.
And they're calling it a personal foul against Dwight White. He is not happy at all. And there's team captain Ronnie Lott. I think he's arguing White should be tossed out of this game.
It's absolutely unbelievable, isn't it?
They really shouldn't even have to talk this over. I mean, this is the biggest game in the history of mankind. I can't believe they would even consider throwing Dwight White out of this game.
They don't even understand that law and order begins with the fundamental law of the land, the Constitution and its multiple amendments.
Nevertheless, they are throwing White out of the game. Howard, you're a former lawyer. What do you make of that?
There had been no arraignment, no grand jury presentment, no indictment, no trial, no conviction, no appeal to the next court, no appeal to the court of last resort, which the Supreme Court would certainly hear in this kind of case, and the man is stripped of his right to earn a living.
Chuck Noll is furious. He can't stand mental mistakes or loss of composure, and this would fall under both categories.
So Joe Montana comes back in. He would have come back anyway, but this simply hastens the process. This is 1st and 10 from their own 45. The handoff goes to Ricky Patton, and Jack Lambert shot the gap and brought him down. Let's check back in and see how Steve Young is doing.
Woo, he got me good. I don't know, but someone raked me over the coals.
2nd and 14, Montana to throw. Looking for Jerry Rice over the middle, but it's overthrown. Donnie Shell had the coverage.
And there's Matt Millen on the sidelines. You know, earlier in the week, he made comments about Pittsburgh's famous immaculate reception. Stirred up a little controversy. Here they are.
I think back to the game, the immaculate reception. That was one of the nicest looking incomplete passes I've ever seen. And they still think it was good.
Predictably, Millen's comments have the locals in an uproar. Lambert eyeing Montana. So is Donnie Shell. The defense needs to come up big on 3rd and 14. Montana now under pressure. Throws, and Mel Blount picks it off at the sideline. Mel Blount. Nobody's going to catch him. It's a 6-point play for the Steelers.
Oh, man, what a gift. The Steelers are right back in this ballgame.
Hall of Famer Mel Blount comes up big. The score 28-13 pending the extra point. We'll be right back.
If you're ready to lose weight, muscle up, and get back into shape, I've got a free video you're going to love.
Introducing a winning fitness strategy.
You got to eat healthy, drink plenty of water, and most importantly, strength train with Bowflex.
Strength training adds muscle. Not only does your shape look better, you actually increase your metabolism, so you end up burning more calories.
Strength training these days isn't just for men. It's great for women, too. And Bowflex is designed for both. It's even been called the best home gym by Fitness Magazine.
Use as little as 5 pounds to more than 400 pounds of resistance. Follow our 6-week fast fat loss program or create your own from over 60 different health club quality exercises.
Bowflex is easy to own, and it fits in any room in your house. It comes with a 6-week guarantee on results, and you can finance it with no money down and payments as low as $33 per month. Hey, I'm 41, and I'm in the best shape of my life. And I can tell you, Bowflex really does work.
For a free video and brochure on the machine that can help you get into great shape at any age, call right now.
It's the greatest night sports, and it's gonna be a heck of a time. It's on Valentine's Day, so baby, won't you be mine? There'll be athletes and stars here to celebrate. Hotel rooms are covered, the mini bar ain't. Greatest night sports, gonna be a heck of a time.
Celebrate the greatest athletes of the decade live from the MGM Grand, February 14th at 8 p.m. on ESPN.
Welcome back, everybody. While we were gone, the extra point was good. So the score is now 28-14. There's Hall of Famer Mel Blount, who just moments ago picked off Joe Montana.
And there's Steve Young. He's in street clothes. He's out.
Go, Big D! Come on, Big D!
So it's Montana the rest of the way. During the break, Terrence Flagler returned the ball out to the 46. The Niners have it 1st and 10.
I'll tell you, with a 14-point lead, you got to look for the Niners to take some time off the clock and run the ball.
They do exactly that. The handoff to Roger Craig. That ball's loose. The Steelers have it. Ron Johnson down the sideline. He's going to score back-to-back turnovers for the Steel Curtain.
Talk about redeeming yourself. Remember, it was Ron Johnson who botched the opening kickoff in the first half last week?
Howard, you've been awfully quiet. Don't you have anything to say?
It's a different ballgame.
It certainly is. And now Roy Girello will kick it off. Joe Cribbs deep to receive, waiting at the goal line. Moves out to the 7. Cribbs across the 20 and cut down at the 26. Joe Montana will take over from there.
And Joe's going to need a couple of first downs to put this thing away. I'm curious to see what the Niners are going to call.
The crowd has really come to life. 1st and 10. Montana calling signals. Roger Craig on the draw. He wrapped up the ball that time, but they wrapped him up after a gain of 1. And Chuck Noll urging his team
Mike,
on.
they can't go into an offensive shell here. I mean, there's still plenty of time left. They're going to need some first downs.
The crowd noise absolutely deafening.
I can barely hear you.
You can barely hear yourself up here. I'm sure Montana can't on the field. Montana, play action, back to throw, out to John Frank in the flat. He's racked up immediately. It's only a gain of 1.
Bill Walsh has got himself quite a dilemma. Do you run here and then punt, let your defense go out and try and win it? Or do you go for a pass play and pick up the first down? Yeah, I'd say you got to keep being aggressive. If they hand the ball off and run it, hey, they're going to be in trouble.
The crowd chanting defense. Lambert sets his unit. Third downs don't get any bigger than this. 3rd and 9. Montana to throw. No pressure. And it's picked off by Jack Lambert. He's down the sideline. The 49ers chasing him, knocked out of bounds at the 22.
Oh, Mike, the steel curtain is taking over this game. Even if the Steelers don't win the matchup of the Millennium, this will go down as one of the greatest defensive performances in the history of the game.
The 49ers once had a 21-point lead, but it's now down to 7. A minute and 12 seconds left. It's up to the Steeler offense now.
Take that football all the way out the field.
Lynn Swann, he always credited his acrobatic skills to the ballet training he received as a youngster.
He also used ballet training to get ready for this matchup of the Millennium.
Round the jump the leg, swing the leg, around.
Wow, no wonder he jumped so high.
Hey, Mike, his tutu isn't going to help him against Ronnie Lott, though.
And there's Ronnie Lott. Rocky Bleier, the man in motion. The handoff to Franco. The Steelers running the ball. Franco does not get out of bounds. The clock is still running.
Well, I just don't understand that call.
The clock ticking. 59, now 58. The Steelers hustle to the line of scrimmage, but precious seconds tick away.
The Steelers are poised to strike again.
Bradshaw over center. Hacksaw Reynolds in his face. Time so critical now. Bradshaw to throw. Can't find anybody. Now throw. Lynn Swann, touchdown. I don't believe it. Holy cow, Lynn Swann with a touchdown.
The 49ers are just shell-shocked, blown to pieces.
And as he did so often in the past, Lynn Swann, the big catch when it matters most.
Man, if that doesn't get him in the Hall of Fame, I don't know what will.
Here's the play again. Bradshaw drops it perfectly between Lott and Williamson, and Swann with a Swann dive into the stands. The extra point is up, and it's good. The Steelers have tied the game at 28-all, and it looks like we might be headed to overtime.
Incredible. Just absolutely incredible.
But on the ensuing kickoff, Don Griffin returns the ball out to the Pittsburgh 28-yard line. With 44 seconds to play and no timeouts, Joe Montana faces exactly the kind of pressure situation in which he has not only thrived in the past, but become a football legend.
Does he have one more comeback in him? Montana drops to throw. Looking for Jerry Rice at the sideline. He got it. Rice still in bounds. Mike Wagner gets up slowly, milking time. The clock running. 35, 34. Montana back in a hurry. Looks downfield. Jerry Rice has it inside the 15. The clock is running, and Chuck Noll going crazy, screaming in his defense.
Here's that play again. Now watch Rice. He's just going to split Oldham and J.T. Thomas.
The Niners quickly line up for the field goal. Walsh can't watch. Ray Wershing for all the marbles. Good snap, good hold. The kick. It's good. It is good. It's good. Ray Wershing hit it.
And already this fight is proving out what some have expected.
The Niners celebrating. The Steeler fans are stunned. We're all stunned. The Niners have taken the lead 31-28. Montana has done it again.
My dad taught me what it means to be a true fan. What it means to come out and give 110%. Right, Dad? Yeah! I'm more the quiet type. Oh, yeah! Well, the cold doesn't bother me so much. It's the chili dogs. Oh, that's why I bring out the Rolaids.
Rolaids starts to neutralize acid in less than 10 seconds, getting you back on your game fast.
It's just like Grandpa always says. You got to be your best out here.
Rolaids, R-O-L-A-I-D-S, spells relief.
Mom doesn't make it out to the games. I don't know why.
I need a car?
There's a whole new way to shop for a used car.
No, a convertible. A red one. With under 15,000 miles.
Introducing Autotrader.com. With 1.5 million used cars updated daily, it's the biggest, best used car site on the planet.
You couldn't help me with a loan, could you? Can we help you?
Autotrader.com. Your car is waiting.
This Sunday, ESPN Classic presents a boxing movie that packs such a wallop, you'll be knocked unconscious. Percy and Thunder.
She's Thunder. I'm Percy.
Actually, he's James Earl Jones. She's ER's Gloria Rubin. And he's... who I am. Billy D. Williams. It's real classics. It's Percy and Thunder. Sunday night at 9, only on ESPN Classic. To get ESPN Classic, call 1-800-CLASSIC today.
Welcome back to Three Rivers, everybody. The crowd still in a state of shock over the apparent winning field goal set up by this Montana to Rice pass. We've been joined in the booth again by Steve Sable, the president of NFL Films. Steve, what do you think about this wild finish?
Mike, I am stunned. I've always considered the 49ers of the 80s one of the great NFL dynasties, but to be honest, I never thought that they could come here to Three Rivers Stadium and knock the 70 Steelers off with a roster of all their Hall of Famers. But I guess, as Howard likes to say, that's why they play the games.
Very good. You know, after 4 weeks of bickering, it's really nice to see you two getting along.
He's the most competent professional announcer, and he's all man. He's a decent, fine man.
You know what we're going to be doing after the game, Joe?
No, what?
Howard and I are going to Hugh Hefner's party at the Playboy Mansion.
And what are you guys going to be wearing?
We are going suitably attired. He is going in the nude, and my vital organ will be covered. There'll be a tape over my mouth.
Common decency prevents us from adding anything else.
There's the Millennium Trophy under constant guard. Very soon it may be the property of the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are huddling on the sideline. Let's listen in.
The boys is going to party tonight.
Well, 5 seconds left. Not much the Steelers can do now. The 49ers will most likely squib kick, and that will be it. Ray Wersching lining up with the kicking team. And they do kick it short. Loose ball. And that one finally got out of bounds with 2 seconds left. Steeler ball at the 46.
There's not a whole lot that Chuck Noll's going to be able to tell Terry Bradshaw at this point.
Well, knowing Chuck Noll, he's probably keeping it short and simple.
Bill Walsh encouraging the troops. Jerry Rice and Joe Montana have done their part.
Rice having an unbelievable day. And, of course, George Seiferd's defense. Boy, did they play well. Brilliantly, really. But can they hold them for one more play?
The Steelers and the 49ers, the NFL's two greatest dynasties, now standing on the threshold of history.
The Steelers break the huddle. The fans are in an absolute frenzy. Hacksaw Reynolds shows blitz. Ronnie Lott ready to go. Bradshaw, last play of the game. Here we go. Bradshaw drops to throw. Looks over the middle. Deflected. Tipped. Franco out of nowhere. No, not again.
Oh, my.
Franco Harris. Immaculate reception, 2. Touchdown.
It is over. It is over. What a
this. Not even Times Square on New Year's Eve 2000.
You're looking at part of one of the most extraordinary scenes I have ever witnessed.
Now let's just listen for a moment.
Well, I have goosebumps like golf balls on my arm.
And the MVP of the game will go to the man who once again salvages victory from the jaws of defeat for the Steelers, Franco Harris.
And I think they'll be remembering this for a very long time to come.
Back with the post game in a moment.
Try something different today. Eat with your fingers. Peel and eat all the shrimp you can right now at Red Lobster. Any day of the week, just $11.99. Better hurry. Escape to Red Lobster.
Oh, hey, easy, boys, easy. Whoa, excuse me. Hey, is that a collect call? Who are you? I'm the 1-800-COLLECT advice guy. Use 1-800-COLLECT and save the people you call a buck or two. 1-800. How about a C? O-L-L. Can't spell collect without a T. Thanks. Use 1-800-COLLECT. Save a buck or two.
Now through Valentine's Day, you can get the Zales Valentine Keepsake Box with chocolate hearts, a beautiful gold frame, and a diamond heart. All just $99 at Zales stores nationwide or shop online at Zales.com.
The NHL All-Star Weekend featuring the world's greatest players. It all starts tomorrow at 7 on ESPN with the NHL All-Star Celebration. Then Sunday at 2:30 on ABC, it's the 50th NHL All-Star Game.
Welcome back, everybody, once again. The Steelers of the 70s have won the matchup of the millennium, 34-31 over the 49ers of the 80s.
And with that, let's go down to the winning locker room and talk to the star of the game, Franco Harris.
Franco, how are you feeling?
Right now, I'm just enjoying this. You know, like, it's just really a great feeling, being that you're #1 again, and all week long, everybody was against us, but like, we knew what we had. We just had some championship blood in us, and we went out there, and it was tight, and we just proved it.
Unfortunately, in a game like this, there is always a team that loses. Let's send it to Ron Jaworski, who's standing by with 49er coach Bill Walsh.
Coach, I know this is a very difficult question, but how bad does it hurt to have just lost the matchup of the millennium?
Coach Bill Walsh understandably upset at having lost the matchup of the millennium. A devastating experience, I'm sure. On the flip side, we go back to the Steeler locker room, and Art Rooney has just been presented with a game ball. His Steelers finally have one for the thumb. Outside, the Steelers fans still haven't left the stadium. It's about time for us to wrap up what has been a memorable broadcast.
What about credits? Is McKay giving those?
What, Howard?
What about credits? Is McKay giving those?
Howard, you know ESPN doesn't give credits.
You know, though, Mike, I think in this case we might be remiss if we didn't acknowledge our guys in the truck. I mean, Peter Frank, Digger O'Brien, that great Dave Douglas. Way to go, guys.
Over the past 4 weeks, we've seen some of the greatest players in NFL history go head-to-head. And we leave you now with scenes from all 4 games of the matchup of the millennium. This was an experience that was truly a pleasure to be part of.
You know something, Mike? If they do it again at the end of the next millennium, I plan on being there. You can bank on that. How about you, Howard?
I'll be there.
Steve?
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
All right, folks, we'll see you in 1,000 years. Thanks for watching, and take care.
This is Howard Cosell saying what happened here tonight happened, and that's what will be remembered so long.
Howard, do you always have to get the last word in?
Joe, God invented losers. He had you in mind.
The NFL is online at www.nfl.com. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network. Go.com.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.